I have done this tutorial like 5 times. Every time I've done it, there has been minor issues. I'm getting better at doing it. But today, I want to talk to you guys about a very dumb idea I had that I enjoy doing. That idea being using streamer.bot and Mtion together to create some crazy scenes. However, I'm going to preference this, and I've already preferenced it probably in the title. This is probably going to be out of date soon. The reason why I say that is because this is not a really functional thing. It works, but it works about 40% of the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the preview window real quick. And if you don't know what Mtion is, I've done a first look before, but it's a virtual environment where you can basically kind of build a set if the camera would let me. So right here, I just spin around where he'll, like, that's basically it. And you have these virtual cameras and such. If you haven't seen my first look, we've done that already. Moving on, because I've done this enough times. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a very special channel point redeem I have called Ego in Space. So what it's supposed to do is I click to redeem. It is a known joke in my community where I say, it's a fucking ego. But I don't think it's going to work on camera for the 87th time. So
It's a fucking ego.
what it's supposed to do is I'm going to come over here to Mtion. I don't know where my mouse is going. Here we go. Move the preview window, scroll up to camera. It's supposed to cut to the ego, and then it's supposed to cut to a security camera, so I can go from the security camera back to my just chatting screen or my gaming screen. So if you want to know how to set this up, first and foremost, what we're going to do, I'm going to close, or actually I'm going to move the preview over here because I still need this so you guys can understand. This camera and this preview screen is what you'll have your audience see in Mtion. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly over here because I have my ego over here. I don't know why it looks like that. Please, it's just me. So I'm going to move up and over. So what you're going to do is, how do you create a camera? If you've not used Mtion, there is a taskbar right here, virtual camera. You'll click it, and it gives you all this information right here. For the 87th time today, I keep forgetting to have a toggle for this, so I have to turn my avatar off so you guys can see the metadata on the side here. So what we're gonna do is, you have your transform and all that. You can set that up prior, but what you're gonna look at here is transition in camera. So what you're going to do is switch it from interlope, which this is on the camera, or the screen cam, which is on interlope, which is the panning and scanning. We're going to switch this to the Mtion cam here now, and I've already sat inside the camera. I'll move that off the side. You're going to switch it to cut. The reason why you switch it to cut is because if you were to switch from the ego cam to a different camera, and there was another redeem in the middle of that, it will completely forget where that camera is going. It will actually be stuck in the middle. The prime example of that is I had a camera for Mark and a camera for Johnny, and for some reason these two, if you had it on panning, it would just fail. So back to the ego cam. So what you're going to do is, for shortcut, have it set to left control or left alt. It does not have left shift. So set it to left control or left alt. And then I usually recommend, because it's my preference, using the function keys from 13 to 24. If you want to use number pad or a different key, be my guest. But that's the information that you will need from Mtion. So I'm going to turn my avatar back on. I know it's so slow right here. Please be patient with me as I am trying to convey this information. Any which way. So what you're going to do next in Mtion is, and again, I usually recommend it because there's that weird, I consider it a weird glitch. There's no problem with it, but make a security camera or make a control camera where you don't have any other interactions going on. What I recommend is, like I said, security camera, just so you don't jump back to just chatting or your game screen and have an issue. So just have it go from wherever you're at, so just chatting or your gaming screen, have it go to your redeem camera, and then have it go to a control camera or a zero camera. I don't know how to explain it like that, but that's how it's going to work. So we are done with the Mtion part of this. So you've selected a default camera and your redeem camera. So how do you set this up in streamer.bot? If you have never used streamer.bot, I will always have the link for stuff in the description below revolving around what we're talking about. So the Mtion description, or the Mtion program, will have its website. You can sign up for the waiting list and join the Discord and get situated with that so you can get started with the program today. The other thing being the streamer.bot, I have used Nutty's tutorial on it, hence why you see Nutty's fun toy box. I use that for kill switching my commands so I can have a variety of commands going, or variety of channel points to use on stream. But I will have a beginner's guide video below to get you really started on it. But if you want me to do more streamer.bot stuff or Mtion stuff, let me know in the comments below. I am more open to doing stuff with the stuff more. I know I did vtuber stuff in the past, but vtuber's kind of hit like a wall for me. So this is just how this is what I'm doing in the spare time, is just creating stuff off on the side, because this is what I do behind the scenes when it comes to my streams. So first and foremost, if you installed streamer.bot and you're wondering what I need to do, come over to platform, click on accounts, and then log in. What you're going to do next is come over to your channel point redeems. This is the more important part, as you could see your old channel point redeems that you've made previously. So for example, I still have Ego for in case of emergencies. I still have the original one, which is bounced off of vtuber. However, in order for streamer.bot to work, you must make one that streamer.bot has created. It's something weird with Twitch. So you actually have to make your channel point inside of streamer.bot for it to work. So we're going to set it up first, but there's going to be a part missing because we have to go set up the action. So what we're going to do first is we're going to right click. We're going to click add. So right here is a blank one that you're going to have, but I'm going to go switch over to what the channel point redeem for Ego and Space is, which is what you have heard already. So I'm going to click edit, but basically this is the same screen. It's just I have all the metadata filled in. You're going to hit, it's going to have enabled. It's going to have the title, so whatever you're going to name it. Give it a cost, which is the channel points. Give it a prompt. So for example, I am still using the old prompt from the old one. The background color is the same thing as like selecting what color you want the point to look like. I usually set up redeem skip queue so that it doesn't stockpile in queue and then not be able to be reused again. So if you pay for it, if it fails, at least you still get the sound for it. So it still acts like the old one. So that's fair. I usually have a cooldown of 120 seconds or 2 minutes because I don't want it to be spammed. And this is also in case to prevent the cameras from breaking. Like I said, if it has a problem switching cameras, it will actually stop in the middle of switching cameras in the middle of the 3D environment. And then what you can do down here for streamer.bot is you're going to select your group and you're going to select your action. These are the two things that are not going to be created for you at the moment, but we're going to go back and create right now. So when you're done creating your action, you'll come back to this and create it here. I'll still walk you through it just in case. So don't panic, just follow along. I know it's weird. So we're going to come over to actions tab, and we're going to have you're going to have a none group. Don't worry, because I use Nutty's thing, I have it set to live for me, but you're going to click group. Come on, really? We're not going to have an ad here? Okay, well, we're going to click add for your channel point redeem or your channel action. So what you're going to do here is, I can't select anything else besides these ones, but I wish I was able to make a group here to show you, but it doesn't seem to let me add a group. Well, see. It doesn't seem to let me. Oh, rename group would be one, but yeah, okay. Well, any which way, to add a action, you're going to click add. It's going to come up with this blank one. Once you're, I think with Nutty, he actually explains how to make a group. I don't know why it's not letting me do it here, but any which way, I have mine set to live by default. Create the name. It will be automatically enabled, and default should be, your queue default should be fine. Hit OK. I'm going to click on Ego Space. Ego Space has sub actions. So here's how you're going to set up your cameras. Remember those function keys and camera shortcuts that we did? Here's what you're going to do. In order to do it in streamer.bot, right click. You have all these options. Come on down to core. You're going to have more options. Come on down to system. Keyboard press. Keyboard press should look like this because I haven't added anything to it. But like I said, you're going to have your function key or any other key, number pad. What you're going to do is select it. So in order for me to get this to work, we're going to come over here. I'm going to just click mine. I'm going to click edit. So I have the Ego camera is set to F18 and it's left control. It does not streamer.bot does not recognize right control. So you have to use your left control. So what you're going to do is select control and whatever key you have selected. I'm going to select test to see if it recognizes the camera. Oh, look, it does. Hit OK. Next thing I have is I have like an MP3. So what I do is I right click action. No, right click core sound, play sound, or play sound from folder. That's a little bit more complicated for other stuff. Like, for example, from folder has been Hatsue Miku or Johnny 5, but we're not here to talk about those ones. Those are a little bit more advanced and crazy. But today, for just simple stuff, it's a fucking Ego. It's the only MP3 file that I selected for this redeem. And then you're going to have another camera button, this being your default, for example, for me, security camera. So you're going to come over to core again. You're going to do the same thing again, where you come down to system, keyboard press, and it's going to be, in this case for me, it's F13. Hit test, brings me back here so I can take control back to my just chatting screen or my gaming screen. So that's how I have it set up. Now, when we do a channel point redeem for it, in theory, is supposed to work, but it doesn't really work for some reason when I'm recording it. But we do have proof. I do have the TikTok of the Hatsue Miku one working. It just, for some reason, if I'm in a game, it will work. But if I'm in emotion, it doesn't work. It's a hit or miss. That's why it only works for about 40%, but it's going to get removed in the future, as there's going to be a better way to integrate Twitch redeems. So here's where come over here, redeem it.
It's a fucking Ego.
And it's supposed to go boom, Ego, and then security camera, and then I can go back to whatever I was doing. So that's how it's supposed to work. Now, if you want a tutorial where things get a little bit more crazy, where is it? There it is. Close this. For example, I have Hatsue Miku revolves around, as you can see in the just chatting screen, it revolves around the ape escape monkey here. It says like, why can't I move? Oh, we'll just play it. Just play the audio for these lovely people. No, it does. Why are you saying no play sound? Okay, you know what? Then we'll just, never mind. Channel, or the chat's missing for it. But it will say like, why can't I move my eyes? Why can't I move my face? This is an internal dog. Hatsue Miku, is it you? And then it will cut to Hatsue Miku. But Hatsue Miku has it completely randomized with inside of its group folder. And then it's like, it picks from a variety of sounds, MP3 file sounds. And then it's all based on delays and such. Like, that's a little bit more complicated to go through. And then Johnny 5 does almost the exact same thing, but a little bit smaller. So any which way, guys, if you want to know more stuff like that, let me know in the comments below. Like always helps. I know you guys enjoy doing, the tutorial stuff I do. Like I said, I do a lot of these live. I don't just sit here and do a lot of editing to it. I feel just straightforward and talking with you guys makes it a little bit easier to convey information like it's a class. Also, I will always have in the description whatever program we're using and whatever other information you'll need. This being for this video, the Mtion website, so you can sign up and use the program if you want to use the program. There's a waiting list. However, it's still alpha beta build. There are some things I cannot talk about. One of them being the environment I'm in and how I've got so much stuff inside of it. This was all mostly made by me / prefabs that I have. So any which way, that's one thing I can't talk about when it comes to Mtion. Also, I'm not really great at streamer.bot. I'm not an expert like Nutty is, but I will have a beginner's tutorial guide for you. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you want to know more, let me know in the comments below. I do read the comments. I do assist people as best as I can. So love each other. It's a shitty world out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I am Tateshi, and I'm signing off.